Hello, FCW Universe, and welcome to another edition of Discussion Concussion as we once again sit round the virtual El Capitino's table with Mr. RC Chaos. Mr. Chaos, how are you this week? How are you keeping?
I'm all right. I'm going to shoot from the hip straight away, brother. This is an early recording on a Sunday morning, so there will be no dark fruits. Instead, I've turned up with a cup of coffee.
It won't do you any harm.
Very nice. And a pint of water for when that runs out. This is the most depressing thing FCW have ever made me do. But I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here, and I'm very excited to have this week's guest on, as the FCW Universe will once again. It was a good week last week with Liam. The FCW management were kind to me in last week's selection, and I'm very excited once again to introduce this week's guest. Are you ready, Rob? Mr. Chaos,
I'm ready.
Are you ready? As once again we get to say that the warrior, Mr. Luke Basham, is back in FCW. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it again. Please welcome the warrior, Luke Basham.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Where's that Fallout Boy music? Where is it?
It's being edited at the moment. Hopefully, when I'm eventually back, you'll see the new version of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Luke, it's going to be my first question to you, and it is: how are you? How's the recovery going? How's rehab and everything?
I think, to be fair, I know this is going to sound stupid, but thanks to lockdown, it's actually gone a lot better than expected. I'm at a point now where I can fully extend my knee and things like that. They told me roughly I wouldn't be jogging or running on it for like 5 months, I think it was, 4 or 5 months. I'm now just over 2 months in, and this past weekend I was running the ropes in a wrestling ring. So things are looking very positive at the moment. I'm not going to say exactly when I'm going to be back, but because I don't want to rush it at the same time, because due to the fact that it was quite a serious injury. When I went to, I don't know whether the doctor says this to everyone that he has, but when I actually went to Gabo in hospital, the surgeon said it's one of the worst tears he'd seen, which I was like, oh, okay, that doesn't really boost my morale, right? But he was like, no, but I'll get you back to, back to doing what you do. And since then, I've started being healthier. I've started, doing prep meals, being in the gym more, stretching more, making sure basically that my body's just in a better condition than it ever is.
Giving yourself the best chance, I suppose, for a full recovery, and when things do get back up and running, then when the time's right, then you're putting yourself in the best possible position. So
I just want to come back stronger. I want to come back stronger than ever, and I've got a lot of unfinished business at FCW, things that I want to accomplish, things I want to help do to the promotion itself. A lot of people, probably don't give FCW the recognition it deserves. It's had a lot of big names on it in the past 17 years, I think it's been going, or something like that, probably longer. And it's a promotion that eventually I hope will, no offense, outsize Baggerage, I'd like to think, because the crowds at the moment, everyone knows I still continue to be there every month to watch the show, support the guys, and the crowds are getting bigger, and that's only down to the talent and the guys that run it, that deserve the credit for it.
Absolutely, I'll second that. Absolutely. We're very appreciative of the FCW Universe, who, as you said, keep coming back in their numbers. The last couple of Christmas shows, the Christmas is busy anyway, but what struck me this year was the fact that the Christmas show was a complete sellout, and then first show of the year in January, when everybody's just kind of like getting over Christmas and whatever. But the crowd in January was incredible for me, and like you say, it's credit to everybody involved. It's credit to a good roster. It's credit to how everything's run, and it's a very, very happy place to be, and long may it continue, as you say. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big future for FCW, and it's turned a corner. There was a time where FCW took a dip in reputation, in quality of matches, and I was there during that time, and I'm coming out the other side of that time now, and I'm very pleased with how things are going. I think credit does go to Mr. Twig here, Mr. Basham a little bit, because he turned up and he struck a relationship with the people behind the scenes, and got an opportunity for him and some of his people from APW in the fold at FCW, and that gave the existing people who still wanted to be there, i.e. myself, a kick up the arse, to be completely honest, to realise, actually, you know what, there's some talent in the Midlands, there's some talent locally, there's talent in England, talent worldwide really, but we're talking about the Bag of Dome at the minute, FCW, and for those guys to come in, the likes of Joe Black, Eddie Cobain, Jimmy Voice, Chris, there's so many that have come through from APW that have really been able to influence a lot of what we've done. Regan, I do apologise for not mentioning you within that first list of
I think
people,
he just choked on his cigar.
Yeah, he spat it out. The whiskey's going everywhere. He's probably having a bit of a fit, but I love you, Regan. But yeah, APW did give us a kick up the arse, and I've been pleased to join APW a couple of times now as well. And they've got a great promotion, great operation over there too.
I think we're all the guys are on the same same level headed. We all just want wherever we go to make that place better, because obviously the outcome then makes everyone else better. That's the way we've always seen things. We're very lucky to be in the position that we are, and to be given that opportunity by FCW itself. I've really appreciated it, and people don't, like I said, it probably doesn't get the recognition it deserves. And I'm hoping now, when we're back in the new year, when I'm able to get back, I'm able to show that, and take it to the next level, hopefully.
Yeah, and if anybody wants a full, extensive update on Luke Basham's knee injury, I believe you provided one on your podcast, Outside the Ropes. First episode, I believe, where you had Joe Black and Regan on there, two of the FCW roster as well, where you give a pretty in-depth, detailed position of where your knee was and where it's at currently, and I'm sure you've continued to update people along the way.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the vlog. It's given me a sense of I wouldn't say purpose, but to actually do something and get still speak to a lot of guys in the wrestling industry, seeing how they're coping with not wrestling and that, because obviously a lot of guys do this for a living, like myself, I didn't do as a wrestler but as a promoter as well, and as a guy that trains students and things like that. So just try and keep up to date with people and working with guys, trying to keep them as much relevant as I can. I mean, I'm not saying I get hundreds of hits on there and things like that, but if it helps just a little, to sell them a couple of t-shirts or something like that, then I'm happy with that. It's money in their pocket at the end of the day.
Speaking of t-shirts, Luke, the new Luke Basham range is out now.
Yeah, I've had to basically bring one into contention. I've had the same one now for about 2 years, which, to be fair, I'll give it a do. FCW sold really well, so thank you to the FCW fans for that. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I've got a new one coming out. It's out now. You can message me or contact me about ordering it. I've actually placed an order for some yesterday, so fingers crossed within the next couple of days. Who knows? I might send you guys a picture to show you that it's here.
There you go. So, folks, the new Luke Basham t-shirt is out now, as he says. If you were interested in one, get in touch. Luke will always respond, and he'll be happy to deal with that. But for now, discussion concussion, guys. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But first of all, Todd, I want a result. I want a result. It doesn't seem that social media had many votes or any votes in the last 7 days. So I want an independent adjudicator, monkey in the truck. I want you to tell me if I'm still undefeated at discussion concussion or if I lost to Perrin. And I don't think I lost to Liam Perrin.
Good morning, Mr. Chaos.
God, exterminator's back again then, I see.
Is this the same guy that was stalking Undertaker's wife?
There's a storyline for you.
Mr. Chaos, you are still undefeated.
For now.
I'm still undefeated. Is that what he said? Oh, for
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Yes.
All right then, Basham. I see where this is going, pal. Do you want to step up and play the game? Let's play the game. I've got my lucky t-shirt on. Tom Broco repping me all the way. I've got all the gimmicks. The award is still stood up at this point. So let's have a go. Let's get this done.
Okay, so as per usual, we've got three questions to have a go at. I'll tell you what they are one at a time. So the first one is, which is better, pirates or ninjas? So
Wow, are you serious?
Mr. Chaos, you have been given pirates, and Luke, you have been given ninjas. Luke, you're going to be kicking things off with ninjas. So, Dan the man in the truck, with all the rules and regulations, it's over to you.
Good morning, Mr. Basham.
Morning.
Your 90-second opening argument begins now.
Okay, so ninjas, they're silent, deadlier, definitely. They're not a fart though. But let's go with this. One thing, the reason I'm really going to support ninjas is because you don't see that many ninjas in wrestling. You see plenty of them in wrestling, pirates in wrestling at the moment, don't you? Let's face that. So I don't think you're going to have a comeback for that one. There's an art of war behind ninjas. You know, wrestling is an art form. Ninjas are an art form. You know, the only decent art form I've ever seen of pirates was Black Flag on Assassin's Creed. So let's face it. The only reason he's getting pirates is because he's named El Capitino. That's it. But let's remember this. Ninjas are an art form. Deadly, silent. Hail from what? Japanese form, maybe, I think, maybe. I could be wrong on that, I don't know. But yeah, literally, ninjas are the best. You can get them on, you know, all kinds of things. Like, I don't even know what I'm going on about now, to be fair. To the point where, you know, you can get them on Grand Theft Auto. It's a mod. There's some pirates on there.
Your time is up. Mr. Chaos.
Oh God.
Mr. Chaos.
I don't even know where to go from there. What?
Mr. Chaos, your 2-minute cross-examination and opening argument begins.
No. All right, 2 minutes to talk about pirates. God help me, because this is not going to go well. First of all, I'll just cross-examine you, as he says, and that might take a minute, because the move that you did before this started, when you did a bit of a ninja move there, you must have learned that down at the Koyabushi Centre, brother. Now, you talk about an art form. Pirates are the art form. You talk about there being so many pirates within wrestling. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. There is way too many pirates within the wrestling business. I agree with you. But the reason there is so many pirates in the wrestling business, and the reason that they might do average to okay, is because they're so transmittable with the audience. The kids dig pirates, brother. You turn up like a ninja. You can't see your face. The kids are going to go, what's this? There's going to be nothing but silence. You're not going to have any rum in the situation. Rum's an art form of itself. Pirates are amazing. Assassin's Creed, you're absolutely right. That's how transmittable pirates are. They have a whole game for themselves. You mentioned GTA ninjas. I've never seen Grand Theft Auto ninjas, brother. You need to start proving your facts here at Japan. You're limiting the ninjas to Japan there, whereas pirates are globally recognized, worldly phenomenons to the point where there's a goddamn ride in every single Disneyland for Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh my God, I don't think I can get any more points than that across about pirates being better than ninjas, I'm telling you. So these 2 minutes better be running out very, very soon, because otherwise I'm just going to ramble and start shooting on some pirates, and nobody wants that because it's just going to cause a hell of a load of controversy. And who knows, who cares? I don't. Get the wolves ready. I don't give. So you better end me before I end pirates.
Your time is up.
Save, brother. Good save.
Thanks.
Basham, your 60-second cross-examination begins now.
I don't even know what to say after that.
Speechless.
How much can we talk about pirates? He's talking about rides and everything. He's on about shooting the pirates now. So Jesus, that was the biggest rant I've seen since bloody Jerry Springer. And to be fair, you possibly would see a ninja on Jerry Springer. Would you see a pirate? I doubt it.
I mean, I could Google pirate Jerry Springer and I'm sure something would come up.
Not something that you want to find. Something 18 plus, maybe.
Maybe a midget with one leg, I don't know. Maybe a peg for a leg.
Mr. Chaos, please be quiet.
I don't even know what to say from this. Like, how much can I say about ninjas? They're on GTA. I don't know. I haven't got a clue what to say more about ninjas.
Your time is up, Mr. Basham.
Thank you.
Mr. Chaos, your 60-second cross-examination begins now.
60 whole seconds to talk about pirates and ninjas. I have literally just Googled ninjas in GTA because I don't believe the man. I'm very confused about ninjas in GTA. So I now have a YouTube video that is loading up that says life of a ninja in GTA. However, I'm filled with adverts, as you can probably hear in the background, which is extremely frustrating. Oh, I can skip the ads. Let's go. Let's do this. This is what a ninja in GTA looks like. This. Now, let's just leave that out. But where's my point? Points. Pirates of the Caribbean. There's a film. What else? Captain Hook, the greatest pirate in the history. I want my war Smee. I want my war Smee. Get me Peter Pan and get him now, because I want my war Smee.
Mr. Chaos, your time is up.
I was just getting into the flow then, you know.
Please, order. Mr. Basham, your closing statement, 90 seconds, begins now.
90 seconds? What?
90 seconds.
Okay, so ninjas. Oh, okay, ninja films. Oh, yes, here's one for you. Wrestling related. Hulk Hogan was actually in a film about three ninja kids. I can't remember the name of it. Something on something mountain, maybe.
Who cares what the subtitle was?
Yeah, but there's no wrestlers in like pirate films that I could think of. The closest thing you're going to get to that statement is the WrestleMania they've just done.
Thanks for the counter argument, buddy.
I don't think I'm getting this game that well. I'll be honest. And like now you've given me this, question about ninjas. I'll be honest, it's not part of my history. I don't think. Ninja films. Wasn't there like a Chubby Chase ninja film or something like that? I could be wrong.
National Lampoon's Vacation presents ninjas.
Ninja. Wow, what an opening question. I stumbled. At least you'll be able to edit most of this out.
Mr. Basham, your time is up.
Thank God.
The movie you're referring to with Hulk Hogan was called Three Ninja Kids, High Noon of Mega Mountain.
Good man. Cheers.
Again, no one cares about the subtitle. It was the Three Ninjas, and they were awesome. So
well, there you go. It's just basically announced that I've won.
No one won because of that movie. Mr. Chaos, your 90-second closing statement begins now.
Oh, wish me luck, FCW Universe, because I don't really know how to close this one up, but we'll try. Hulk Hogan, Three Ninjas, congratulations. Did you win? Did you? You've Steve teamed the hell out of this round. I'll tell you that now. He had a bad opening round on the first ever episode too, so hopefully you can pick up from where he left off. But I'll just really go over my points. Pirates win, don't they? It's as simple as that. There's more of them. We transmit more of them. I have a best friend that's a pirate. I'm not going to lie to you. He walks around like a pirate. He drinks loads of rum. All right, Ben, how you doing, mate? Shout out to you on this show. Happy Sunday to the pirate, Ben. Some of the other pirates I might not like that I know of. Todd, I can see you smiling there, buddy. You're about to smile whether you like it or not. Good eyebrows they are. Pirates win. Kayfabe or not, pirates beat ninjas all day long. I'd like to see, DreamWorks present Pirates versus Ninjas, or Disney Pirates of the Caribbean versus Ninjas of the World. Who's going to turn up? Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. You class them as ninjas. I thought you'd use them in your argument, to be honest with you. But spoiler alert, they're not ninjas either.
They're not ninjas. The Kamikaze Kid is, though.
The Kamikaze Kid is an excellent ninja. Captain Cutlass, he's all right, isn't he? He's all right. He's a good captain. But he ain't no captain, no chaos.
Your time is up. Round one is concluded.
So, question number 2. In these unprecedented times, wrestling has had to adapt. But this begs the question, who are more important, wrestlers or a crowd? Mr. Chaos, you've been given wrestlers. Luke, you've been given crowd. Are we clear on that one? Do you want me to read the question again, or are we ready to go?
I'm good.
Todd, who the hell are you asking that a question needs repeated to? Do you understand who I am? I'm El Capdino Chaos, baby. Get this round on the go.
Well, without further ado, Mr. Chaos, you will be going first with wrestlers.
Oh.
Dan, the man in the truck. It's over to you, Dan.
Mr. Chaos, your 90-second opening argument begins now. Go.
I guess the feeling is mutual, because he just dropped the mic on me and told me to start with 90 seconds to go. So let's try and make a point about why wrestlers are more important than the crowd. Well, I guess the fact of the matter is that wrestling's still going, even without a live audience in the bigger promotions. So WWE and AEW are taking this opportunity to reinvent themselves a little bit by producing different match types. So the Money in the Bank ladder match being the most recent one for WWE, and what was it, Stadium Stampede for AEW. I've not had chance to actually watch Stadium Stampede yet, and I'm very, very disappointed to report that, because I've heard absolutely great things about it. And the thing about that is that just proves the point, the fact that I've heard great things about it, because we're still talking about the wrestlers who make the show, make the product, to make it important as it is, whether that be AEW Stadium Stampede, Money in the Bank, Edge versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 36, the Boneyard match at WrestleMania 36. You've never seen The Undertaker look that good in years, have you? And that's all down to the way that we're producing a wrestling show currently, with no live audience, no time that we have to accumulate. We can just stop and start when we like. Yeah, Undertaker. Okay, let's take a breather and let's shoot that show again. Yeah. Whatever you say, pal.
Mr. Basham, your 2-minute cross-examination and opening argument begins now.
Okay, so you're talking about a live audience not being there. You know, the wrestlers continuing to do it, and the wrestlers are continuing to do it in 2 places. Well, 3 places if you include Impact as well. Now, let's face it, they're all doing an outstanding job. But let's face it, we all rely on it as athletes ourselves. We rely on that buzz that we get from the crowd. And let's face it as well, the crowd are still supporting the wrestlers, whether they're not there, they're there feeding the money that through T-shirts, things like that, supporting the promotions. If the fans weren't there in general, there wouldn't be any wrestling. It's as simple as that. Now, we rely on the crowd so much. And I think as much as I respect the guys that are doing what they're doing at the moment, you know, we need them more than ever. You know, independent scene alone isn't running without any fans. The independent scene is a massive market for talent. You know, we wouldn't be able to have all the talent we see at WWE, AEW, Impact, things like that, without the wrestlers that come through there. And at the moment, you're not seeing them wrestlers because they're not able to perform, because there's no crowd there. You know, the fans make a massive income for all these promotions, including the big ones. You know, if the fans just simply weren't there, we just wouldn't be in this business. And at the moment, you know, it is affecting it. A lot of fans aren't tuning in as much to AEW, to AEW. Sorry, sir.
Mr. Chaos, your 60-second cross-examination begins now.
Yeah, sound all right then. Good stuff. So I think you made 2 points within your opening 2 minutes there, or however long you had. I lose track of the time with this monkey in the truck giving it all the big un on that stupid microphone of his. When we get back to reality and normality, as soon as I find out who this monkey in the truck is, that microphone's going somewhere where the sun don't shine, and that's that. But buzz from the crowd, let's talk about that. Yeah, you're right. Do I miss the buzz from the crowd? Absolutely. Training in a lonely unit with the missus is not as entertaining as putting on a show, no matter where I am, whether that be a Bagger Dome or, you know, wherever else it is that I'm performing. The crowd are always there to give you that extra bit of support. But that's on our level. We're still talking about, you know, the big promotions with the big wrestlers. Drew McIntyre, for example, got his WrestleMania moment this year in front of absolutely nobody. And did it make a difference? No, not really. He got his moment, he got his belt, he put it towards the camera, and he can camera as most of these stars.
Mr. Basham, your 60-second cross-examination begins now.
Okay, you say, did it make a difference? Well, okay, obviously at the start, they wasn't allowed anyone in the arenas. And obviously that was due to COVID. But as it progressed, what happened at AEW, what happened now recently at WWE, they rely on the crowd that much. They're using their own wrestlers as the crowd. That's how important it is. They're using NXT guys who apparently stood for 7 hours for one recording. That's how much they need the crowd. Crowd is reliant so much in wrestling. And, I think COVID-19, the pandemic, has shown that more than ever. Yes, we're still getting entertained to a certain level, but how many people reach on social media to say it's not the same? It's in their drones, because obviously they want to be there. Fans want to be there themselves. They want to feel the atmosphere that you get from wrestling. And this is why fans are so important, because it continues to thrive in wrestling. It's getting bigger than ever, wrestling is, due to the fans, let's say.
Basham, your time is up. Your 90-second closing statement begins now.
Yeah, make your mind up, monkey in the truck, and I'll get to it. Closing statement. Why wrestlers are more important than the crowd? I don't know. I just start. That's where I'm at. I mean, I'd love to be able to say that I'm happy to support the argument here, but I'll probably end. Mr. Basham's probably won me over on this one. If I'm completely honest, I'm happy to concede a round for the first time in my life. Or am I? Because he's the turn, he's the twist, he's the turnaround. Wrestlers are better, full stop. Wrestlers are more impactful than the audience. Yeah, we've got wrestlers in the crowd, but guess what? Guess what they're doing? All they're doing is just cheering them on, getting themselves over, making funnies at what's going on in the ring. Two people that stand out to me that have really, really made a difference in wrestling without a crowd, and that's Baron Corbin and Bayley, because of the way that they interact with the cameramen, the commentators, the referee, and their banter, their entertainment value has risen. They've gone up massively. Baron Corbin's chucking people off roofs. I was wondering if Rey Mysterio was dead or not. Alistair Black still ain't turned up, has he? I don't know. I don't follow the most recent storylines. Has he turned up? Great. Is he going after Baron Corbin for murder or what? Because that's what. No. Okay. WWE. Yes. Golden opportunity to write it down. Alistair Black needs to go after Baron Corbin because of murder. And then what have you done? You just it out as
Mr. Chaos, your time is up.
Yeah, wrestlers. He'll turn halfway through that statement. Basham was celebrating, living the dream, thinking he'd got one over me, and then boom!
Mr. Chaos, please. Mr.
I'll
Basham,
give you a.
your 90-second closing statement begins now.
Okay, so he's talking about, Rey Mysterio, Alistair Black being chucked off roofs and things like that. But the only thing is, they're still alive. And do you know why? Because instead of wrestlers catching them on the outside of the building, it was the fans. The fans brought them down. The fans caught them all outside. The drones of fans outside at the bottom of Stamford HQ were there to catch them. That's why Rey Mysterio was on Raw the next night. That's why Alistair Black was on Raw the next night. The fans are important. Don't forget that. They're massive. And we're seeing it now because the fans are now wrestlers. The wrestlers are chanting, "This is awesome." Where does that come from in the first place? The fans. How long have I got left?
Seconds left.
Wow. God, I don't know how many he said.
The fans are, I'd never lie. I heard seconds. The fans are so important to wrestling. Like, I can't give it up as much as I've been saying. They're a massive financial basis for wrestling. Without them, we simply couldn't do what we do. The fans might not be in the building, but they're still supporting pro wrestling, and that's what matters. They're buying the t-shirts, they're buying all the merchandise, and that is what keeps, they're still paying for their online networks and things like that. Even supporting the indie scenes, we're still APWs in that, we've got fans paying for our on-demand service more than ever because they're supporting us. And that helps us so that we're able to come back stronger than ever. So the fans,
your time is up. This concludes round 2.
In wrestling, an era is defined by who wore the top belt the most.
Oof.
Mr. Chaos, you have been given agree, and Luke, you have been given disagree. Luke, you're going to be kicking things off on this one. So, down the man in the truck, over to you.
Mr. Basham, your 90-second opening argument begins now.
Whoa, this is a tough one. The reason I disagree with it is because I don't think the amount of people, the amount of times you win a championship creates, like, makes the era, due to the fact that I think personally it's what you actually do with the championship. I believe that, you know, you look at people like CM Punk and things like that, he's never really had an era in wrestling, is in the sense of like his championship reign that he had, which long most wasn't last as an era. Like, you think about when you had the Attitude Era, like possibly the most relentless wrestlers you see there are possibly what, The Rock, Stone Cold, people like that. You know, they weren't, people don't look at them because of their championship belts. They look at them because of the characters. John Cena was the same during the what was the era called with John Cena? Ruthless Aggression. That's the one. I've been watching the TV series on the network for $9.99.
Doing your job again, Michael.
And you know, that was the same. It wasn't because of the championship belts that he won. The era was because of the ruthless aggression that John Cena showed when he entered SmackDown against Kurt Angle. You know, I'm not saying that, you know.
Your time is up.
You're not saying anything anymore, buddy.
No, I ended that well.
Mr. Chaos, your 2-minute cross-examination and opening argument begins now.
Okay. I guess the counter argument to everything that Basham said is when you think of an era, who do you think of? And then what the conclusion will come to is that person that is in your head was the main champion. He was the champion of that promotion at that time. And specifically, we're talking WWE, WWF era. You know, you could talk about the NWA Heavyweight Championship, and everybody associates that belt, so the old WCW Championship, in the end, with one man only. Woo! The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, baby, styling and profiling, and that's NWA. That is end of story. His era. He's the man. End of. He put all the baby faces over because he was the man. And to be the man, you have to beat the man, to quote his phrase. But then let's talk about eras. So you've talked about watching the Ruthless Aggression series on the WWE Network for $9.99 per month, Michael Cole. But let's talk about the complete series of the Monday Night Wars, for example. So that looks purely at the Attitude Era, WWE, WCW, how it all come about, and so on and so forth. And there's one episode that stands out the most, and that one episode is because of the man that led WWF to win the Monday Night Wars. That man is a beer-drinking, redneck Texan called Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he's the man, regardless of the championship and who was holding it at the time, he finds that era, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes, he had a great supporting act with The Rock, Triple H, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 14, when the era began, as JR piped over the announcing airwaves at WrestleMania 14. But the bottom line is the man makes the title, which makes the era.
Mr. Chaos, time is up. Mr. Basham, your 60-second cross-examination begins now.
You know, there isn't no doubt you can't say that Ric Flair was probably one of the utmost best. You know, he's a 16-time champion, for for what he is, the talent that he is. He won them. He ran them belts. He won them belts at a time where, especially NWA, was there a bigger name than him during the time? Probably not. Whereas you look at during the Attitude Era, Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, the belt was tossed between them due to the fact that it was a time where wrestlers were thriving, the Attitude Era was thriving, and it was a matter of fact that those three guys could be champions, but it's what they did with the belts that made them. Triple H became a heel, a massive heel during that time, due to the fact that they wanted.
Your time is up.
I'm starting to hate this guy.
You know how I've been feeling for these past 4 weeks now, then, don't you?
Mr. Chaos, your 60-second cross-examination begins now.
Okay, my point you mentioned there's bigger names in with FCW. I'll give you 4 names at the top of my head that I've just written down. Dusty Rhodes, baby, the American Dream. Harley Race, King Harley Race to you, Mr. Basham. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Sting. Ric Flair and Sting. Do I need to say any more? I don't think. There you go. I don't think I need to say any more there, do I, Mr. Basham? So when we talk about the man making the error, that drives my point home. But then let's talk about Stone Cold, The Rock, and all of them. That's the Attitude Era. That's great, fantastic. But then let's talk about when Hulk Hogan won the championship. He was the man. End of story. You thought about wrestling. You thought about Hulk Hogan. And then he had a great supporting act as well. Macho Man Randy Savage, Sergeant Slaughter. I don't know what I thought of him. WrestleMania 7 towards the end, didn't it? Ultimate Warrior. Andre the Giant.
Your time is up.
Can't wait for me closing argument. I think I've got a lot more to say, buddy.
Have you really? Because I'm struggling now.
Mr. Basham, your 90-second closing
90
statement.
seconds.
90 seconds, yes.
Good luck, mate.
So, right, we're talking about Chaos is talking about champions could be in the era, and let's face it, during that time it was all about the gimmicks. He should love that one. He should love that one. It was all about the gimmicks that got the wrestlers over. It wasn't the championship belts. It was the gimmicks. And let's face it, people like Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H. I'm going to use this Attitude Era because that's as far as I go back, really. NWA, to be fair, when he said that, I was like, yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. It was a time where the belt could be passed between them three guys, not because of not because they were always the right guys, but it was because of the fact of they were the guys with the best gimmicks at the time. They were the most over guys. And yes, okay, I have heard the phrase a lot of the time, it's the man that makes the belt. I don't necessarily believe it is. I believe it's the reactions from the crowd that give the man the belt. When Stone Cold was hot at the time, especially after he gave his King of the Ring speech, he went then on to face Bret Hart in that submission match, and then they knew then, due to the fans, that he was the man to beat the belt with the belt. He should be the man with the belt. And I think that was definitely a time in the period. I'm just rambling on now. I don't even know what I'm going to say next. It was during a time where.
Special thank you. Your time is up. Mr. Chaos, your 90-second closing statement begins now.
Okay. So, I don't know. He probably had an aneurysm of some sort. But we were talking about NWA. You're right. I went way back, and I went way back to understand where we are in terms of the present and the future. And the reason for that is because when I mentioned Hulk Hogan, and his supporting cast of the Macho Man Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, and all of those other names, well, WCW just recycled that and added Sting and Flair, who were already great from their day, in that own attitude area in terms of WCW. So again, it was always about the man that had the belt, and the man that had the belt the most in WCW throughout the Attitude Era was Hollywood Hulk Hogan, I believe. And then you think of the Ruthless Aggression Era. You had two main champions because you had Raw and SmackDown, and then SmackDown, had a number of people there, but there was the Undertaker as well as John Cena, Eddie Guerrero. They all had their moments as such as on top and the main guy. The Summer of Punk you mentioned, yeah, he was one of the longest reigning champions in the history of the WWF, the WWE, whatever you want to call it these days. But my point is, it's always the man that you think back to. Bruno Sammartino, you could go all the way back to his time. He went longer than CM Punk. He was the man that would sell out the Garden. He was the man that defined that era. The headliner, the main event, is always the man. And I need to mention Shawn Michaels at that point because that's his gimmick.
This completes round 3. Goodbye.
Shawn Michaels, main event.
I literally
Mr.
just got...
WrestleMania. Shut your mouth, Dan.
I literally had one more statement and I thought I was going to get another 30 seconds.
Okay, that wraps up our third and final question on this week's discussion, Concussion. It brought up interesting points. But how do you guys feel that it went? What do you guys think?
Well, I'll tell you how it went. It went as well as it could have gone for me. I've won. It's as simple as that. People, if they decide to vote this week, I've won. If they don't decide to vote, then I suppose the independent adjudicator will step up again. But Pirates beat Ninjas, whatever the other two topics are, I won them too. But Pirates beat Ninjas. But Basham, I've got a bone to pick with you, pal. You see, I'll beat you in this one, and I know I'll beat you in this one. But there's one thing that really, really grinds my gears, and that is we've only wrestled once at FCW. You turned up with your Academy Championship. You put it on the line, and I had an opportunity to take it. And yeah, you made me tap out that night. You made me tap. And you know what? That has sit right here for the last 2 years. And that has made me better, stronger, more vicious, more aggressive. And when you're back, I will set that record straight and I will take you out and put you out, whether that knee's healthy or not, forever. Oh, I can't wait to see you back, Basham. I can't wait.
Well, just as I was actually enjoying this moment, he has to end it on this. And then let's face it, the only reason that he's climbed the ladder at FCW is because I'm not there to kick his ass every week. He walks around with this crowbar, with his bunch of gimps, mate, that walk around in their masks every week. And I'm sitting there thinking, as I'm watching it, I'm getting tired of it, watching it every month it happen. And now he's got the man that used to run the place by his side, Jig. Well, maybe down the line we might have a you and Jig versus me and Tracy match or something like that. Or even to the point where I'm just going to take my foot and stick it up your every month. And then I'm going to take the crowbar, I'm going to shove it down your mouth to shut you up every week. And then maybe I might adapt some of that GTA Ninja stuff and take a good old-fashioned axe handle straight to your head.
Whoa. That's a bit too far there, Basham. You're looking to commit murder. I've got a life. I've got a family. I ain't into a bit of murder. I'll take you out for good. I'll injure you, but I don't want to murder you. I want you to suffer. I want you to be on the shelf forever.
Well, this is the thing, mate.
Forever.
How many people have tried, and every time I'm coming back, the judge, this new kid at APW, they're all trying to keep me down, but I'm coming coming back stronger. And that is what you need to be worried about.
I
You run your mouth
worried.
every month, but as long as I'm on that roster, you ain't getting anywhere near the top.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Basham. We'll see about that. Todd, you want to wrap this up, mate, before this gets serious? I can track his IP address. I'll find him.
Yeah, my nan's here. She'll kick your ass as well.
I ain't into messing with OAPs, mate. Your nan needs to just stay out of this because she does not want a crowbar wrapped around her head. Please don't make me do that. I'll have to drink a crate of dark fruits to get over it, but I'm sure I'll manage.
Hey, mate, she'll use her bus pass just to travel to you to kick your ass.
Oh,
never mind your crowbar.
No, she's going against all the social distancing rules by getting on that bus. She needs to.
She doesn't know what 2 meters is.
Yeah,
you don't care.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather wrestle you than wrestle your nan. I'm not going to lie. She sounds incredibly dangerous, ninja dangerous, you might say.
Yeah, I'll be back in Luke's nan. I must admit.
You what? Sorry, Todd. You'll be back in Luke.
I'll be back in Luke's nan.
Oh, Luke's nan. Okay. Well, that's a different story. I'll back Luke's nan. I'm not an animal. You know, you might think I'm an alcoholic. You might think I'm a party animal. You might think I'm a scumbag. But I've drank a cup of coffee. I've drank a cup of coffee on this show. I've drank pints of water. This 2-litre bottle's nearly empty. It's nearly empty. That's what I've been doing for this show this morning. This is the worst thing FCW have ever made me do. I mean, it's after 12 now, so I'll be having a can as soon as this is finished, to be honest.
I don't know. You're on about FCW making you the worst thing you've ever done, but I've seen some of your matches on a regular basis, so.
Oh, wow. Do you not see that sign that has managed to stay up the whole of this episode? Do you know what that says, buddy? That says the rest of the year 2019 as voted by the FCW universe and the workers in the back. And there's one reason, and one reason for that is because I was the man in 2019. I was the man, like I say, you tapping me out spurred me on to kick my ass into gear and become the first ever Grand Slam champion in FCW history. 3 matches, 1 night. I beat your boy Joey Sanchez. That was fun. I beat your boy Liam Perry. That was fun. And then I beat Carson Bailey all in the same night. Doesn't matter what happened after that. Let's not talk about that. I don't want to get too wound up this morning. Look,
you've got 1 on your wall. 1. Upstairs, I have 3 hanging on my wall from 2018. I was only there 6 months. I was only in FCW for 4 months last year. So imagine what I would have done with a full year. Imagine what I'd have done with a full year.
Well, let's just say it's 3 against 3. And in case you're forgetting, I did win 1 in 2018 as well.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there at the time. I wasn't FCW at the time, I don't think, then.
You got your 3 awards. I got 1 award that year. And then this year just gone, I picked up 3 more awards, buddy. I picked up 3 more awards.
I was FCW champion on day 1.
Oh,
FCW tag champion, anyway.
You were a substitute and a poor one at that because you left him hanging the following month. And guess what I did?
Not my decision.
And guess what I did the following month when you left him high and dry? I laid the smackdown on him, beat him up with a crowbar, and took the tag team championships off him.
Okay, why don't we just make it official? When I'm back, 1-on-1.
Oh, you want to do this? You want to make this official on Discussion Concussion?
Well, if you can talk the talk, it's time to fight the fight.
Okay. I'll put my money where my mouth is. RC Chaos versus Luke Basham when Luke Basham is fit, healthy, and ready to go. And I don't want no excuses. I want you in the best shape of your life because I'm going to take you to the limit and I'm going to make you tap out this time, buddy. And that's a fact.
I'm not even going to make you tap out this time. I'm just going to knock you out. and I'm going to pin you. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for having me, Tom. Really appreciate it.
No worries. And
Todd,
thanks for
not Tom. Todd.
Here we go. FCW Universe. Breaking news right there. When Luke Basham returns, Luke Basham versus RC Chaos. RC Chaos vowing to make Luke tap out. Luke vowing to knock RC out. This is one to look forward to when we're back up and running. Yeah?
We've got a birthday in the house that I need to get off my chest, and it's in your house to be exact. This Thursday, Luke turns 5. Happy birthday, Luke.
Happy birthday, Luke.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Luke's new T-shirt is available now. Those of you that want to take a look, please take a look and get in contact with Luke if you wish to purchase one. It's a super design, I must admit. It's a very, very nice addition, something nice to wear out in the summer months.
Much appreciated.
Luke, we look forward to seeing you back in the FCW ring as soon as you can. In the meantime, keep going with your rehab, keep staying healthy. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the FCW universe?
First, I just want to thank you guys for having me. Really appreciate being on. You know, it's been a bit weary towards the end, thanks to someone. But you know, I can't thank the fans enough. You know, I've had loads of messages asking when I'm back, even when I'm there on a monthly basis. Guys come to me and they ask me when I'm back, and you know, I really do appreciate, you know, the support they've given me over the you know, the last couple of years I've been there. And I'm very excited of when I can come back. I'll be able to and start climbing that ladder, because it's about time. FCW, as much as I love Mark Clark and things like that, it's about time this man headed towards the top.
Over my dead body.
Can be arranged.
We'll see about that.
That's certainly something that the FCW fans will be looking forward to as well. But for this week's discussion, Concussion, I think that's about it. Thank you once again, Luke, for
Cheers,
joining.
Tom.
Mr. Chaos.
Yeah. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Luke, for turning up and pulling a Steve Keane and losing the debate as easy as that. Because let's be honest, I've won this one, just like I'm going to win when we're back in the ring.
Yeah. Look, if you beat me at this, I honestly don't care. I'm just grateful to be on here and to say my thanks to the fans and things like that. But when it comes to stepping in the squared circle, it's a different kind of business, pal. So be ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Well, FCW Universe, please get your votes in for this week. Who's your winner this week? Add any comments, anything you'd like to say. Let us know who you'd like to see. Is there any subjects you'd like us to raise in future episodes? But for now, this week's discussion Concussion is done. Thanks again, Luke. Thank you, Mr. Chaos. Thank you, Dan the man in the truck.
Bye, Monkey in the truck. Bye, Todd. Bye, Luke. Bye, FCW Universe.
And make sure you keep safe. Everybody, stay safe, and we will see you again very, very soon. Thank you.